Hello, this is Mark Sobowitz with a Clarion Voice. Today we are very pleased to have with us Bonnie Alvarado, who is the Executive Director of Post-Abortion Services for A Tree of Life. Bonnie, thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity to join you.
Okay. So what I wanted to find out, first of all, Bonnie, is what is the background of A Tree of Life? How did it begin? What is the history of A Tree of Life?
Well, I am not exactly sure of who started it. I do know it started in 1985, and so it's been a resource in our community for well over 30 years. And we currently have 3 offices, one here in Atascadero, one in Paso Robles, and then one in San Luis Obispo as well. So
okay, how have you dealt with the issue of A Tree of Life being an alternative to organizations like Planned Parenthood? How have you been able to do that?
It's been a tremendous tool of ministry for us to be able to connect with women that are on the fence with what direction they want to go in as far as their decision with their pregnancy. And we are able to minister the love of Christ, and we do so on many levels at Tree of Life. It is something that we take great delight in doing, sharing the gospel even of Christ with our clients. But we want to provide a safe, compassionate, non-judgmental atmosphere for our clients to come into, to be able to share all of the factors of their circumstances and then get good counsel, good truth from which they can form their decision and direction.
Now, do you get your clients from, from referrals, or how do they actually
yes.
come to you?
There's a variety of ways that they come to us, but we do advertise in our community. One of our biggest advertisements that we have, I believe, is through our movie theaters. We have ads that actually pop through between movies and the previews and different things. And so we get a lot of response from that. A lot of people respond from our website as well. And then we do everything we can to get into the community to share with them about the services that are available and that we provide.
Do you have, fundraisers or things like that?
We do. We have an annual Walk for Life, which is our biggest fundraiser. We are a 501c3 organization, and we're completely donor-based. And so we rely upon the donations, both financial and material donations from our community and many giving churches that are regular donors. So every opportunity we can to communicate with our community and our supporters, we do so. We give them updates periodically through mail and media and things of that sort. But that Walk for Life is one of our biggest fundraisers, yes.
Now, you were telling me earlier about the fact that most of your staff is volunteers.
That's correct.
And so what kind of services do the volunteers get involved with, as far as the clients?
Yeah, there's a variety of ways to serve in our ministry. There's a lot of background stuff, there's a lot of administrative stuff, and then there's the direct contact that they have with clients. We do offer training to our volunteers that equips them to be able to counsel and to help them accordingly based on their needs. And so but really based on what they feel comfortable doing is the degree in which they're usually serving, but yeah. Okay.
So as far as, the people that are coming into your into the clinic, there, if I can call it that, I don't, what kind of, state of mind, are they in? I mean, do they come in having some idea of what the Tree of Life is, or how does that work as far as their emotional mindset?
Yeah, they some do and some don't. A lot of times they are in the place of not knowing what direction to move in, kind of gripped by the circumstances that they're in the middle of and not sure of which way to go. But they will come in and find a description of our services provided to them, as well as the love of Christ supplied to them. And so if you don't mind, can I tell you what those services are? And that kind of outline things a little better too. So we provide, all services are free and confidential, and they include pregnancy tests, ultrasounds for between 6 and 12 weeks gestation, so limited ultrasounds. We provide assistance in the form of baby items and diapers and maternity clothing as well. And we provide brand new baby infant car seats to our moms to be. We provide counsel and community referrals. We provide accurate information and truthful information on their pregnancy and the fetal development of that pregnancy, on adoption, on abstinence and purity, marriage, and the dangers, emotional dangers and physical dangers associated with abortion. So we try to provide a broad spectrum of services as well as ministry of the gospel of Christ to them. So
when you're offering your services to the individuals, do most of the women that come in are they do they stay the course, as it were, throughout all the program, or do some people, have a problem with that, and then they just, for lack of a way of saying it, bailing out of the program?
That is a great question, and we get all types of clients from all types of spiritual backgrounds, some with zero spiritual background, and so our job is not to force the gospel upon them, but to simply be an extension of the Christ, the love of Christ to them. And so we have found again and again that they are very responsive to that. We know God's goodness is what leads people to Him, and so we try to just be an example of that. And we find that our clients do return. We are very respectful of their beliefs and anything that they feel adamant about expressing as far as any resistance or anything, and believe that our walk and the extension of our love is really still very effective in being able to reach their heart ultimately. So we lead our clients to Christ. We provide church referrals to our clients as well. A lot of prayer and a lot of ministry goes forth at Tree of Life. So
now, as part of the program, are you under the HIPAA rules as far as, privacy about different medical issues?
Yeah, we are absolutely. Everything is confidential that we provide to our clients or share with our clients. Yes.
Okay, so they fill out a basic form, I imagine, giving the information.
Yes, they do.
And so then that is held privately so that there isn't any danger of it being
That's
released.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, how does somebody in the community how would they be able to support Tree of Life? I mean, are you looking for volunteers, more
Yes,
volunteers?
Absolutely. Always an ongoing pursuit of ours is to obtain more volunteers. The more volunteers we have, the more expansion we're able to do, and that's ultimately what we would love to be able to do, open longer hours and more days of the week, that type of thing. But yeah, there are several different ways you can get on board and support the work that's going forward. You can become a volunteer. If you have any interest in that, you can contact any of our offices at any point, and we'd love to elaborate on that, what would be involved next with that. Financial support is always greatly appreciated. And then baby items, gently used baby items, as well as brand new baby items, are always an ongoing appreciation for us to receive, because we give those things out pretty regularly to our clients that do choose life for their children and
Okay. So then if a person wanted to make a donation of either the baby items or monetarily, is there a way that the person can do that? I mean, through your website or?
Yeah, you can do so through the website, absolutely. And then you can stop at any of the offices during our normal business hours, and we'd be glad to help you with that. And
okay, so what is the website?
It is treeoflifepsc.org.
Okay, so that's treeoflifepsc.org. Okay, so a person can make a donation through that through the website?
Yes, I believe there's PayPal.
Okay. Yeah. So the local office is on Morrow Road here in Atascadero,
yes,
correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and then the offices in, you said San Luis Obispo and Paso Robles, right?
Yes, it's on Chorro Road in San Luis Obispo, and in Paso Robles in the Highlands shopping area is where that office is located.
Okay, very good. Now, I was just, wondering, do people, have an issue, as far as being confused about abortions and things like that? I've done a little, research, about that, and I'm wondering about, if there were restrictions on abortion, if it was like illegal. Would you think that people would choose life as opposed to that, or?
Yeah, well, I think that if it were illegal, it would definitely make a difference. I don't think that it would completely eliminate it, unfortunately, because as we know, we have an enemy that is not going to stop anytime soon in his pursuit of destruction and that type of thing. And so I think that if it was completely gone, that there would be different ways for them to pursue that type of remedy based on that, you know, manipulation from the enemy, I guess you could say. I will say that one of our services that I didn't mention also is a post-abortion counseling that we do for anybody who has made that decision and is dealing with the emotional now devastation of that, which often comes with that. And when I say that we are eager to get into the community to let the community know of all the services that we provide, we are always very anxious to let them know of that particular service because it is an area that is not talked about often because of the sensitivity and the difficulty surrounding the subject of abortion. But we do provide service in that area, and it is a tremendous program that makes a world of difference in the lives of women and families that have been impacted.
So you're dealing with the emotional, the physical, all the things that are involved in the after effects of having the abortion. Do you get many of those women that come in?
Yes, we do. And in fact, the more opportunity that we have to speak about it in the community, the more response we receive. Community is very eager for truth and for answers and help. And that happens to be an area because of the secrecy surrounding it and the shame surrounding it that does not get spoken about nearly as often as it needs to. So they are usually very thankful when somebody does come and speak on the topic and very responsive of that. And I'm not sure if you're even aware of the statistics, but it's kind of interesting, and if you wouldn't mind me sharing just a little bit about that. Statistics have revealed that 1 in every 4 women will have at least one abortion by the time they're 45. And so then it helps us to see this as a whole different issue and the need that really exists all around us. People say, well, who are these women? And the reality is, I've been doing this for a long time, counseling women in this area. The reality is that they're professionals, and they're in our churches, and they're students, and they're homeless, and there's really no, particular area where you'll find them more than another, but they're all around us. And this is 1 in 4 women that have been devastated. This is 1 in 4 men that have also been impacted. What God intended through that, conception is disrupted, and it just really results so often in a downward spiral in their life. And until it's spoken about, they don't even realize the connection of much of the adversity that they faced in their life and different challenges and obstacles, how that connects to that disruption.
You bring up the men.
Yeah.
I'm interested, how much response do you get from the men, as far as their support of their women and whatever? What kind of, how do you deal with the men in this issue?
Yeah. Well, this particular area right now is not an area that we provide services in due to the lack of having a male individual willing to work in that area. We have a helper at this point, but if we did have a better team established, I believe we could reach out more intentionally to the men and not just the women, and I believe the response would be great. This is something that I've done for a whole lot of years now, and not just in this area. I'm actually from Northern California and worked for a pregnancy center there for many years doing the same thing. And the accessibility to the services that were needed was a little different there. We were able to help men there. And I saw a great response from the men just as I did from the women in that particular area. So I think if we had these things in place, the resources in place, there would indeed be a response. So definitely something that we're striving for.
Okay. Yeah. Now the volunteers that you have there at the clinics, have they had their own individual experiences?
Yeah, most of them have. Our post-abortion counseling team, most of them have been through the experience themselves. That is my experience as well, and really drives my passion to help others receive the same healing that I was able to find through Christ in that area. The devastation is immense that follows, and it's going to be different for every person and manifest at different time frames for different people. But I am assured that it is definitely going to manifest at one point or another, in one degree or another. And healing is needed. It's really desperately needed.
Okay. If you were to tell somebody, a woman or a man that's watching this, about, what is involved in a Tree of Life, or how would you address that to someone? What would you want to say to somebody?
Yeah. Well, I think I would say that we exist to be a support to you. If you are on the fence and expecting currently and don't know what you're going to do or how you're going to handle your set of circumstances, we're here to provide hope to you and to let you know that there is promise for your future. We want to enable you and support you to be able to ultimately choose life for your child, because there is no mistake about that life. And if you are somebody who has made a devastating decision and chosen abortion at one point of your life, perhaps maybe even more than once, we want you to know that we are here for you as well, and we do not bring any condemnation or judgment upon you. We want to minister the love of Christ and the forgiveness of Christ to you. God wants to restore you. He desires wholeness for your life, and we want you to know that it is possible for you and that you can receive that assistance and that support through our center. So if you have any interest whatsoever to pursue that, please do. You can ask for me directly at any time at any one of our centers, and I will get in contact with you. And it is a hard first call, I know it is, but I can guarantee you it will be worthwhile, and that you will find comfort and healing for your heart.
Okay, so the website is www.treeoflifepsc.org.
Correct.
And then how can someone get in contact with you by phone?
805-543-6000, and that is the same number for all of our centers. And so any one of those.
Very good. Bonnie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate the time you took to tell us about Tree of Life. And if you want to get in contact with Bonnie and her staff, be aware that you can get in contact with them by phone at 805-543-6000, or you can make a donation or get in contact through their website, which is treeoflifepsc.org. And we want to be sure that if you like this video, share it with someone, especially share it with someone who has gone through the experience or is about to go through the experience. And then please subscribe. Be sure to hit the bell. And this is Mark Sobowitz with the Clarion Voice. Hey, did you like what you just saw? Well, then please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell so that you can get notifications of future videos.